Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Tuesday, April 29th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 6 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to, all right, so one fell out on my lap. We have the bear, and bear comes out in the reversal position. And with the bear coming out in the reversal position, the bear in the upright position brings me to seasons, it brings me to cycles, it brings me to preparation. And in the reversal position, it brings me to either being, it brings me to not being prepared. And with today's energy adding up and reducing to number 6 vibration, the number 6 brings us to reflecting on our truth about your definition of success. What is it that you want, and why do you want what you want? And are you sure it's you who wants it, or you think it will complete you in some way? I feel like today is the day to really sit down and reflect on that question, because with the bear coming up in the reversal position, it brings me to being unprepared. It brings me to not being prepared. And a thought of a person not being prepared, I think of a person who glamorized a certain career path. But the path of the career, like let's say a person glamorized the thought of being a pharmacist. And, you know, they glamorize the thought of it because of how much they get paid. And they decide to go to school for that path. And they only was looking at how much money these people make, but they never stopped to think about everything the path entails. And say the person completes school and now they're making the big bucks, but most days they're making things and putting out in the world that they wouldn't consume, that they wouldn't allow their loved ones to consume. I'm assuming that a path like that can, depending on the person, because for some people, they could do that and not feel any way, in the sense that the people who are taking it, they're choosing to take it. One person could look at it in that way, like, you know, I'm selling crack and yeah, I wouldn't want my family to have it, but the people who are buying it are choosing to buy it. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Where someone else might say, you know, I'm not selling anyone that because I wouldn't sell it to the ones I love. Where the one who is able to make the disconnect, then, excuse me, they can live with themselves and the process might not be problematic. But the person who can't live with the process of, you know, making that good money and maintaining the lifestyle that they created from that good money might have a hard time. Might struggle, might have to drink and smoke at night to go to bed. So it's like they're living this dream, but the process and what it's doing to their soul is something else. And when it comes to today's energy, not that anybody is dealing with anything to that extreme, but the bear in the reversal position brings me to being prepared. And when I think of preparation pertaining to today's energy, you know, I think of the number 6, the day adding up or reducing to number 6. And instead with the number 6, we could get lost on the material side of things. How will I look to the world when I marry this kind of partner? What will they say about me to see me with this partner? Or how will this kind of partner look beside me? How will people perceive me or think about me when I get this car? when I buy this house, you know, when I have this title, when I have this status. And we get lost on the idea of how a thing will complete us and completely overlook the process. It's like, okay, that partner will look good next to you, but there's some things that come with being with a person like that. And can you handle that? Will it tear you down? Will you lose your soul in the process trying to gain this thing that makes you look a certain way to others? I feel like, you know, that there's big emphasis on that, because today's a day where some of us could find ourselves just feeling bummed out, and we feel bummed out because we don't level up in some way based on some definition of success that we have projected onto ourselves. And today is the 29th. 2 plus 9 is 11. And the number 2 is nurturing. The number 9 is a humanitarian energy. So both those energies are given. The number 2 is a caring feminine energy, meaning it's introspective. But the number 9, though it's masculine, it's not an energy that likes to rock the boat. So I get a passive vibe when it comes to today's energy. Passive on the outside, but turbulent on the inside. Because 2 plus 9 is 11. And the number 11 is a master genius energy, but then the number 11 can struggle, as if the number 11 is not producing and expressing itself and not creating, then all that energy that the number 11 has can turn inward. Like when I imagine it, I imagine like an autoimmune situation where instead of putting this thing out and adding value, creating art, and art is an experience. So instead of putting this thing out and creating experiences that could change people's lives forever, or people could enjoy or whatever, instead that energy turns within and it becomes destructive. And it becomes destructive because the insecurities and the negative self-talk that comes with not being bold enough to see the ideas through, not being consistent enough to see them through. So with the day being the 29th, big emphasis on being passive on the outside, but being destructive on the inside because of the passivity on the outside. So, you know, when it comes to a situation that you're dealing with, are you dealing with something similar where you're being passive on the outside and destructive on the inside? Passive on the outside, meaning you're not doing all the things that you know you should be doing. And because you know you're not doing these things, are you in return like resenting yourself because of it? And if that's the case, like it's time to get to the root of it. It's time to get to the bottom of it. But first, what is your definition of success in this area of your life? And why is that your definition of success? Where did it come from? Did it come from you, or did it come from somewhere else? You know, where did you first hear this definition of success? Who else do you know that has a similar definition of success? Who do you know that you admire in your life that would love you more, or not just love you more, but be proud of you? Who do you know in your life that will be really proud of you if you aspire to and accomplish this definition of success? Like, who would you make proud achieving your definition of success? Because sometimes that's the problem. The problem is we want to prove something to someone, or we're doing it to be accepted by certain people that we love. And because of that, we hold on to certain definitions of success and try to force them down our throats. And they're hard to swallow. But at the end of the day, the goal is to be accepted, is to be seen in a certain way. So I love this 7 of Pentacles tarot card. I love it so much. And I love it so much because I think it's a perfect reflection of this energy, because the number 7 is introspective energy. I'm going within. I need to do research and understand something deeper. The Pentacle is practical energy. It's foundational energy, just like it's financial energy. And in this card, as you could see, she's planting something. But to me, it's like investing. She's investing. And she's investing in the sense that, say, you know, she bought some yams. And of the yams that she bought, she took 10% of those yams and put them to the side so they could start growing they could start getting ready to go in the ground. And she put these yams in the ground and then forget about them. And later on, the yams grow. And now she has way more than she had before. And she repeats the process. Same thing with investing, where, you know, you get a certain amount of money and you take a part to take care of your living expenses. Then you take a percentage and you put it towards other things that will grow. That's what I get with the Seven of Pentacles energy. It's a perfect example about investing. When it comes to today's energy, though, to me, it's all about investing your energy. For some, it could be around investing your money, but for me, it's investing your energy. And it's like with the bear coming out with the Seven of Pentacles, the bear brings me to preparation. Seven of Pentacles, investing. Are you prepared to properly invest your energy? Are you prepared to properly invest? Like, to me, a person investing their energy in the wrong way is like, you know, the person who has a definition of success that didn't come from them. And then the free time that they do have, they're working towards something that is going to stress them out later. Like, the thing that they're working towards is stressing them out while they're working towards it. But what's keeping them going is the idea of them sitting on the throne after achieving this goal. So the idea keeps them going, but normally we tend to feel the burnout and things get problematic when we've arrived to the throne and we're sitting on it and we're looking around and it's like, damn, like something's missing. Like, I remember for me, 2 years into my salon, well, I remember the first few months that I opened the door, because it took a lot for me to open up my salon. When I had a salon that I built from ground up, and for 5 years I had this salon. And the first few months, weeks, or days of the door opening, it's like, wow, I finally did it. But I was confused as to why I didn't feel shift. I didn't feel change. I didn't feel renewed. Like, I was expecting to feel something that I didn't feel. And 2 years in it, I'm starting to feel like a caged bird. Like, I've built this beautiful cage around myself. And more than anything, I just want to fly out and be free. And it's like I would achieve these goals. I would say, okay, I want to go to the art institute. I want to go back to school for fashion. I went back to school for fashion. I complete it and I still don't feel complete. So it's like I'm achieving these goals. I go move across the country to Cali. I'm there and I still don't feel complete. Something is missing. I'm investing my energy in the wrong places. My best investment so far, 2 investments that I've made so far that are just the best, is creating content. Like, it nurtures my moon. I love expressing myself. My moon and my sun and my rising had to come together and create a deal on how I would do this, but it works. But I love creating content and expressing myself. I feel like this is such a good way of me investing my energy because it adds so much value to me. And trading, which came to me in a dream. I love investing my energy into that also because it challenges me like no other. And I've grown so much because of it. So, you know, when it comes to today's energy, reflect, what are your 2 best investments? Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your, you know, your lifestyle choices as far as how you eat, how you exercise. What is your best investment yet? That's something to think about today. So when it comes to today's energy, 2 things or a few things I want, you know, you to think about. At this moment, what is your definition of success? And when it comes to this definition of success, is it for you or is it for others? And you'll know if you ask yourself, who will be proud of you if you accomplish this goal? Where for me, when it came to my investment in this channel, there were certain family members, or just one, I will say, that I'm very close with and I've always been close with. But I felt like me pursuing this path was something that disappointed them because this is not what they saw for me. And then coming from a traditional Caribbean background, you know, this is just not, to me, this will kind of be a little bit shameful to be on this internet talking about astrology, numerology, and tarot, especially, you know, having to go to church every Sunday and being in that kind of household growing up. So, you know, if I was into this, yeah, I'd do it behind closed doors when no one's looking, but to be public with it, it's kind of shameful for certain people. So in the process of me choosing me and choosing this path, I had to be willing to sacrifice certain connections with people that I admire and I look up to. And, you know, thank God we're still good. But at the same time, like, I had to make the choice. And that's what I love about Mastery by Robert Greene. And in Mastery, he talks about when it comes to the thing that you want to do, that you want to master, like, you got to want it so bad to the point that you will run over anyone that gets in your way. Because whoever truly loves you will not get in the way of you doing something that is, you know, that lights you up. But I also understand that someone can love you, and because they don't understand, they'll try to get in the way of you doing something until they see that the thing that you're doing is actually a good thing. Because for me, at first, my mom wasn't supportive when I went to beauty school and wanted to become a cosmetologist. That is not something that, like, just the way she responded to it, like, I could tell it felt like, it's like I was going into some lower type situation. And it wasn't until after a year in, and she's seeing the kind of money that I'm making compared to people that, you know, went to school to become a nurse and things of that. And she realized that I'm making my own money, I own my own time. And that's when she was able to respect it. So in some cases, it's not that our families don't want to support us, is that they are so fearful when it comes to us that they won't support certain things that we do because they can't see that thing working. And sometimes you're better off showing them than you can tell them. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. You're better off showing them than you can tell them. But yes, I was saying today's a day where I want you to, if you feel like it, reflect on what is your definition of success and who would be pleased if you accomplish that dream or goal. Because chances are, if you have a definition of success and there's some people that you admire that would be pleased if you accomplish this goal or this definition of success, and you find yourself procrastinating a lot around it, chances are it's not something that you really want to pursue, but the fact that you will make them proud is what makes you hold on to it. That's something to look into. And then the next thing to look into is, and reflect on today, is what would you say is your best investment? What is your best investment? I only named 2, but I have more than 2, but I just named 2 right now. And yeah, those have been some of my best investments, because in the process of me putting energy into these things, and they don't require a lot of my energy, where yes, with the trading and me learning it and been learning it for years now, it does require a lot, but I get so lost in it because I love the whole pattern learning and the way it challenges me and all of that. So, you know, after a while though, after putting so much energy in, like anything else, after it doesn't require as much. So it's like, what is your most, you know, maybe you could share that in the comment. What is your best investment, or what are one of the investments that you've made that you're proud of? Like I said, it could be your children. It could be where you move to. You know, you decide to move out of your hometown or move to a certain place. It could be a career path you choose to pursue. It could be something you walked away from. What is your best investment, or what is an investment that you're proud of that you would like to share? Because I would like to know. Pleasure sharing this message with you. Let me know you're here by dropping a white heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.